Yeah. What's good? It's be the G Shaw Cipher. You officially tuned in to On The Grind Live. We support anybody out there grinding in any capacity. It doesn't really matter what that capacity it is, as long as it's a grind they want to talk about. This is where they need to be. So when you see me, you see dope people, right? You don't see nobody crazy. You don't see nobody that's not official. You always see official people. So of course, I got somebody official with me. Shout out to the homie Dead Hendrix. What's going on, my G?
What's up? What's up? Good to be here.
Listen, I appreciate you tuning in with us. You know what I'm saying, and tell the people where you from, where you reside, and I see you riding around right now. Where you located?
Yeah, I'm from Ottawa, Canada. That's in Ontario. That's the capital of Canada. I moved around a lot in my life. Was originally born in northern Vermont and grew up there for a bit, but settled in Ottawa. Started making music and all. That's where I say I'm from because that's where Hendrix was born.
Yeah, no, that's dope. That's dope. I want to talk about your brand. So when people recognize you in the business that you in, the grind that you in, you determine what your brand is going to be, what you're going to be called. So tell me the origin behind the name Dead Hendrix. Where did that come from? Still there? You're breaking up a little bit.
So
Looks like you in a bad area.
yeah, I don't know. That was random.
can't.
Repeat that again. Sorry, I got you.
Yeah, you in a bad area. It's all good. It looks like you keep jumping in and out. So what I was saying is that Hendrix, the name, like
Yeah,
that's your brand. Give me the origin of where you came
yeah,
up with that name.
yeah. Like growing up where I grew up, kind of especially like in my teenage years, I kind of grew up in Centertown, which was kind of like in the streets a little bit. So my friend group, my style was a lot different from like stood out. You know,
Right,
it was kind of like rock star style. So they kind of like, or my friends thought it was. So they nicknamed me Hendrix.
right.
And so I was Hendrix for a bit, and I tried to play around with some names there. And I was always really into punk and along with rap, and I really liked the name The Dead Kennedys.
Right.
And I wanted to do something like that, and like Dead Kennedys, JFK, right? That was uh, uh, you know, like um, like American media icon, just in pop culture and stuff. And I thought, like, well,
Right.
what's another similar thing? Jimi Hendrix, the death of Jimi Hendrix. So that's kind of was my thought process in naming myself.
I mean, that's good. That's dope. That makes sense. I like to always hear the origin behind, the brands that we create. I always say brand. I know it's a name, so maybe
Yeah,
some people, for me, it's a brand. You get what I'm saying? It's just something that you want to be promoting, and really trying to take to the next level. So talk to me, man. You've been doing music for a minute. Talk to me how long you've been doing music. And how did you really get into the music business? I think you in a punk rap artist, or you're a punk rap artist from what I see on
yep,
your site, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
talk to me about that.
yeah. I mean, like I always been into music, like my whole life, like especially listening to music and stuff. Um, but around middle school is when I really got into rap specifically, and around middle school, like when I started getting when these rappers started becoming my idols is when I
Right,
decided, this is something maybe I can do, especially because I've always been a good writer. That's one thing I was gifted at my whole
right,
life. And listening to these rappers, I realized, they're going through shit that I'm going through that I can relate to, and they're just writing it. And so I thought, maybe that's what I can do. Like I can do something like that. Maybe that's something I can actually do. Um, and
right,
and and so that's how I got into like releasing music. And then for a while, like I was a rapper, right? But I knew I had to do something different because I did not want to be generic. The last thing I wanted to be was generic, and I wanted to stand out, And I always liked punk, so and it kind of came naturally, man. they just kind of ended up blending. I remember before I was Dead Hendrix, when I was releasing music in high school under a different name. But before I took a little break from making music,
Right.
the punk rap thing, kind of like grunge sound, kind of started to come into the music I was creating, but I never did anything with it. Then when I
Right.
started releasing music the other time around, it happened naturally again, but I ended up releasing it, and it started to get a fan base and pick up steam.
Yeah, yeah. What I like about what you got going on is that you center everything around the Dead team, right? So you had the Walking
Yeah,
Dead tour in
yeah,
22, right? We got this song that I want to talk about Till We Die. Even your Instagram, Talk to the Dead. So I like how you keep that all within a certain theme. So talk to me about the Walking Dead tour. What was that like for you, man?
yeah. That's cool. Yeah, you did. You got some info. You did some research. I appreciate that. Thanks, man. That's
Yeah,
cool.
man, of course.
Yeah, the Walking Dead tour was cool. The Walking Dead tour was just a little mini tour, but it was like, cause my kind of my main collaborator, my best friend Levi Zadoff, he kind of like he's another artist that kind of started doing this stuff with, like, the whole thing. We kind of merged and did together, especially
Right.
with our EP Dead Summer. And so the Walking Dead tour. Well, the Walking Dead is our fan base, and and kind of like us together. It's all that. It's me, Levi, and our fan
Okay.
base. So we wanted to do a little cities. So we wanted to hit my city, Ottawa. And we wanted to hit LA, and we wanted to hit San Francisco, and there's another city that I'm blanking on for some reason. But we just wanted to do like a little thing like that, and the the response was crazy. We weren't like imagining it, but it was sold out. Like every show we did was sold out, which was awesome. So it
Yeah.
wasn't like a huge tour, but like the response was crazy. Like like the yeah, how much the fans enjoyed it was really crazy, and made it a
Yeah.
really big deal for us.
Definitely. I would say this, man. It doesn't necessarily got to be huge, meaning, super, you know, uh stadium crowd. It's just got to be impactful, right?
Yeah,
Like when
no,
you go in there, it's impactful. So
exactly.
just by the pictures, right? I'm looking at your website right quick. Just by the pictures of the people, what I mean, that I'm seeing in the videos and things like that. People was tuned in. People
Yeah,
love what they, with the music they were hearing and the things that y'all were doing and
yeah,
paying attention and recording. You know what I mean? That's a life experience that you can always go back to, and it makes you want to do more shows. You get what I'm saying? And really get to the people even more. You said you had some people that you idolized in the music business. Can you give me a couple of those people?
oh yeah, definitely. I mean, for some reason, like, I know the reasons, but for when I first got started getting into rap, my first like favorite rapper was Hobson. I think I really just like the far outness of him, and kind of like the gore and rawness. But he was pretty. He was overtaken as my top one rapper as Machine Gun Kelly.
Right.
And I really like Kevin Gates as well. And there's some new ones like Zillakami, and of course like the classic big ones like Eminem, Lil Wayne. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I feel you. I feel you. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where, you know, shout out to Little Wayne. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's, first of all, Machine Gun Kelly's dope. Little
mm-hmm.
Wayne's dope. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I like a mix of different artists and things like that. So I mean, being an
yeah.
artist myself, I can definitely understand. Talk to me about your recording process. Like, do you got to be in a certain environment to record, or you got a specific studio you always have to go to? Does it got to look a certain way? Like, how do you get to a point when you're ready to do a record?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm too picky. But I'm not one of those people necessarily who just get in the studio and freestyle and record like 20 songs in like 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I put a lot of energy into making one song good. You know, so I usually like I'll write the song in a short period of time, usually before I go to the studio.
Right.
But I'll take a few days like sitting on it and thinking about how to sing it or how to like, present it and tweaking different parts of it. And then I get in the studio and try to get it all done like when the magic is there. You know what I mean? When it's fresh.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but I'm not saying I can't. I also go into the studio and listen to beats and say I like this one, and then chop in line by line. Like I can do that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
usually I do like to get the beat, bump it in the car, hit the
Yeah.
studio a couple days later. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Talk to me about this song, man. Till We Die. Like, who produced it? Give me the give me the concept behind it, and kind of like how it came all together.
Yeah. So an artist in my city, KGJ, produced it. He's a talented artist in the city. He produced the track while I was there in the studio with him. Yeah, really good beat, really really clean beat. And I think the reason why I really like this track is just and the way my voice sounds great. Like sonically to your ear, the track sounds great. It's
Right.
super clean, super smooth. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I like when you spend time on tracks and you're able to really lay it down, and it's talking to you, right? It's making you make that, what I mean, make the song, come out as best as you can get it. So that's definitely a great to hear when it comes to your songs. Um Talk to me about, are you get ready to are you doing any more performances coming up? Like, how can we make sure
Yeah.
that we always tune in to what you got going on?
Yeah, yeah, we're performances going here and there throughout the summer. I got coming up this Saturday. In Ottawa, I got some in TW Ottawa. So we're doing it's a 5 day long festival, 3 shows, 2 events. So that's one unreleased
Right,
music listening party, and then one after party. And that'll be from the 11th to the 15th. And so each day it's 5 or 6 different artists, up and coming artists in the city performing, different artists each show, and really just showcasing the talent in the city, um, with different special guests. Bigger names are the special
right,
guests, and really just giving the artists, like a chance to perform in front of different fans along with their own. And giving the fans different artists, like to listen to. And I think
right,
I
right.
haven't heard of anybody, especially in this city, do that. So I'm really hyped for it. And Levi's flying down from the West Coast, and he's gonna be out here a week, so it's gonna be super dope.
Right, right. Explain that the beginning of it right quick, because you were cutting out. So what
Oh,
type
what's
of
that?
event is like 5 days? So from the 11th to when? Like break that down one more time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so it's from the 11th to the 15th of August. It's gonna be, yeah, a festival.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Definitely. So make sure, what I mean, for the people that's tuned in, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know there's people tuning in from all areas, you know what I mean? And supporting these artists and making sure that these artists, you really get your feedback and really get your support is definitely important. You get what I'm saying? So, it's one of those things where you just got to make sure you tuned in. Not too long ago, you had an interview with my business partner, Tampa Mystic. Talk to me about that experience. What was going on with that?
Yeah, yeah. Like, interview with Tampa was super dope. Really, an interview like this. Really enjoyed it. You know, a really clean
Right.
conversation. Like really good back and forth, going over different topics really smoothly.
Right.
You know, she invited me if I'm ever in Atlanta to
In
come through
Atlanta.
and do one
Yeah.
live, which hopefully I'll be able to do this summer because I'll definitely take that up. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Let me
Yeah.
ask you this. You know what I mean? I know in your city, you talk about the different artists and things like that and different things you can do, but how truly is the independent scene for artists like yourself? Do you have a lot of opportunity, or do you really got to travel across different markets?
Well, honestly, like in Ottawa, the scene, the independent music scene has been growing like crazy. Like I like even in the past, like from when I was in high school till now, the amount of rappers and the amount of attention they're getting is just
Right.
like off the charts. It's grown so much. I know Two Time is a rapper from Ottawa who just got signed to Polo G's label, so
Yeah.
stuff's popping off. We're like Toronto's little cousin.
Right.
We take a lot of influence off them, and honestly, I think like we're the next up city wise in Canada on the music scene. So
Yeah,
I
that
think it's
makes
just gonna
sense.
keep growing and keep doing good. We got Belly, we got Night Lavelle. So
Yeah. Well, shout out to anybody that's out there, grinding. Canada, we hear a lot of, Canada artists, and it's a lot of things going on out there, and you want to be able to really push, what I mean, to take it to that next level. So I'm hoping that you get a chance. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, so I hope
oh
that you
yeah,
have the opportunity to come out here one day and do something out this way. You know what I'm
oh yeah,
saying?
would
So,
love to, man. Yeah,
you know what I'm
definitely.
saying? Um, so any videos and things like that that we can check out, besides on your website? I'm talking about music videos for any of your songs.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't think I'm doing a music video for Till We Die.
Okay.
Just didn't come out Till We Die was kind of a surprise release for
Okay.
my fans. Um, but I'm coming out with a mixtape. It's gonna have some songs that are already out, like Mustang and maybe Till We Die on it.
Right.
And it's gonna have some songs that I've been sitting on, really like waiting to drop on it. So I'm definitely gonna put out like one or two music videos with it. And
Makes sense.
it's the mixtape's gonna be called Talk to the Dead,
Okay.
just like my handle on Instagram, and it's got some cool features as well. Me and Levi Zadoff are gonna be doing some work on it. Young Cuddy's on Mustang, so he's gonna be on it, and also Nell, an artist named Nell. Who I've been doing a couple tracks with, is going to be on it. He's really cool. He's from Florida, from
Yeah.
Miami.
Dope.
He's done some stuff with Xavier Wolf and Chris Travis. So I'm excited to all that out there.
Yeah. What I mean, do you have a specific time frame when you looking to release it, or you still kind of figuring
Uh,
that piece out?
yeah, no, it's gonna be in the next, like in the upcoming months type thing. I don't
Okay.
have an exact month like yet, but as soon as it's ready, and I'm like, okay, I've got the tracks,
Right.
like all the tracks. Then I'm gonna pick the month. I've got the artwork. But it's gonna be around 9 tracks, and
Okay.
I'm just
Nine
fleshing
track.
it out at this point.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. How many tracks you
Yeah.
anticipate? You said nine. That's dope. What I mean, let me ask you this: out of all the time you've been in this business, what do you feel like is the biggest lesson you've learned?
Um, there's been some yeah, like there's been a couple big ones, honestly. There's been kind of like some failed deals where I've been like, okay, like I've learned a lot on the business side where I've kind of been like, okay, like good thing I didn't sign that. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
But
right,
I think one huge thing for me collaborating is like, you see big names and you want to work with them, and like every artist, especially when you're starting out, is like, oh, if I could just do a song with this person, you know what I mean? And like, like you really think that's gonna make your career. But
right.
if that person really like isn't in the same lane as you, and like and doesn't speak to the same fans, there's there's kind of like an is it worth it on it, because like, because let's say you make punk rap music, to me, like me,
Right.
you really want to pay like a couple grand to get a feature from an artist who speaks solely to R&B crowd, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right. Right.
that was a big lesson for me to learn, because just because they got a big name doesn't necessarily mean it's going to help your career like crazy.
Right. I mean, that's true, right? Like if you, especially if you want to kind of stick to a certain fan base, so certain situations, you can tap into that person's fan base, what I mean, with the feature, or what I'm saying, they can help increase your fan base. But you got to really know who to really collaborate with, and whether they're going to
Yeah,
promote it too. Sometimes that's not
yeah,
always the case. You get
yeah,
what I'm saying? So now
yeah.
that you feel like that was your biggest lesson, like so far, what do you feel is like your biggest accomplishment
My biggest accomplishment. Oh damn. Um,
so far? Because it can
yeah,
change. You know what I mean?
yeah. My biggest accomplishment. Um, Oh, that's actually a really good question. Lately, I've been looking, because lately I've been looking at my career in general, and been like, and been like, wow, what an accomplishment. I haven't
Right,
really
right,
been like looking at something too specifically and been like, wow, that was crazy. But I think just in general, I've been like, wow, look how far I've come.
right.
There's been like a few big things that I've been like, damn, that helped a lot. But I think just in general, like, keep putting out music that people like and keep doing your thing, and then eventually it kind of just, you just look at everything you've done. You look at your Instagram page, you look at your Spotify, you start looking at the text people sending you, like, saying how much they like your music, and you're like, wow, man, like,
Right,
that's
right.
crazy. You know what
Definitely, definitely.
I mean?
So you on the Grind Live podcast. A question I always like to ask is, what do you feel like your definition of grind is?
Yeah. Definition of grind for me is just, um, yeah, it's just keep making that music, keep putting out that music, and keep like and keep up that mindset. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
That creative mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. That makes. What else do you want to get into, man? I know music is not the end all be all.
Yeah.
What else do
Yeah.
you want to dive into?
I definitely want to get into, as I said, I've always been like a gifted writer. I want to get into. I mean, I already do write scripts. Make a little money from writing scripts for a PBS Kids show.
Oh,
But eventually, I do want to start making movies, TV shows, like some HBO type. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So definitely shout out. I mean, that's dope. You make writing scripts for PBS Kids. So talk a little bit about that. Like, don't just breeze past that. Like, how do you how do you got to get involved in something like that?
Yeah,
People, that's
I'm not.
definitely
I'm not
interesting.
gonna. I'm not gonna say what I write on.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
like on the air type. But me personally, I got the gig through connections.
Right,
But obviously I've got to have writing. You gotta have writing ability, and they gotta
right,
see that you can do it.
right,
Um, I went to an arts high school, like the top in the city,
right,
um, and I went there for a creative writing program.
right.
So I've just always been writing. Like, I always think, like, if you do something in a certain area, your life's gonna move that way.
Right, right,
If
right.
you're if
Yeah.
you're if you're a dancer and you dance, you're gonna be doing dance stuff. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Now that makes sense. It's just one of those things. You want to if you're in that lane, there's nothing wrong with staying in that lane and making some money off of it. You get what
yeah,
I'm saying?
exactly.
Um, so listen. What else? What else you want to tell the people before we get out of here? Is there anything specific you want to make sure we mention and talk about?
Like, I think we've covered like just about everything coming up, everything
Yeah.
specific coming up. But like, if you want to reach out for me, my website's Dead Hendrix. You can find me, all music platforms under Dead Hendrix.
Right, right,
My Instagram is Talk to the Dead, the number two for Talk Two. And yeah, man, I'm out
that's
here.
dope. Let me ask you this, man. Yo, who made your logo? Your logo's dope. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? On your website.
the which one?
The skull with the
Yeah,
flowers and the eye and all that. Like,
right,
yo,
right.
right.
That's this artist called Gabriel from the UK. I think I don't know how I came across his stuff, but just early on,
Right.
I came across it, and I've been working. I've been going to him for art for all my projects ever since.
Yeah,
You know.
that's what's up. That's what's so this is definitely
Yeah.
a dope, you know what I mean? Make sure y'all go check that out. deadhendrix.com is right at the
Yeah.
top, you know what I'm saying? And hit up that shop too. Let him, get that merch, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, that he got going on and just really
Merch
check
is
out his music. He got Mustang right there with Young Cuddy. You know what I mean? There. And you got stuff on Spotify, right?
yes,
Streaming
sir.
platform. Make sure y'all go check that out too. Listen, man, I appreciate you taking the time out with us. You know what I'm saying? And keep doing your thing, keep grinding, keep taking things to another level.
Yes, sir. Pleasure being here, man.
All right, man. We're gonna talk to you. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
You too.